Hi everybody, Matt5210 Reviews here, and today we are going to be doing a comparison of the HTC Evo 3D and the iPhone 4. iPhone 4 is well known as one of the best phones out there. It's the most popular, it's the most well bought. It's basically every iPhone has been the highest in their class. Everyone loves them for some reason. I am not that big of a fan of the iPhone, but I still want one just because it's an iPhone. And over here we have the HTC Evo 3D. Slightly thicker, more powerful, but again, it's not an iPhone, so people don't want it. As the world's only 3D phone, production phone that is, they have concepts out there, but not full concepts. So today we're going to do a basic comparison, which phone's better according to specs, and which phone you should buy. Number one, this is for Sprint only, sadly. This is for AT&T and for Verizon. This is the AT&T version, so it has a SIM card slot, which means you could use it with T-Mobile, AT&T, or I think it was called American Carrier, something like that, some other third-party carrier that actually has SIM cards. This can be flashed for Metro PCS, Cricket. I think it can be used with Verizon if you flash it, but I'm not really sure. So first off, we're going to look at the screens of both of them. These are at full brightness. They both have unlocks, and as you can see, the Evo has a significantly larger screen. The Evo phone is actually larger than the iPhone in general, just the screen alone. Both have fully customizable wallpapers and customizable lock wallpapers. I forget what they're called, the lock screen. iPhone shuts off after a while with the lock. This actually takes a little bit longer to shut off when it's locked. Of course, the iPhone has the home button that what every Apple product has, really, or every Apple touchscreen. This has the home button, the the list button that will basically bring up menu, back button, and search button, which automatically gets you to your internet browser. That brings you back one. That brings up the list underneath, like this, basically a menu, and this brings you back home. This, of course, has just the home button. One thing, but then again, that's all you really need for an iPhone. Of course, the iPhone actually does have a better screen, of course, but it does not display in 3D, which is why the screen is not as good in this, because it also has to carry the 3D. One thing that the screen does I like is this. That's just a little fun that they give you. It's hard to actually get it back to normal because it's very sensitive. The screen is brighter on the iPhone, of course. I'm not sure if the brightness is all the way up, but I'm pretty sure I already said it. Basically, the setup in this is completely different. If you like the iOS, it's basically an iPod that's been turned into a phone. It's very thin. It's thinner than the Evo, of course. Put next to each other, you could obviously see the significant difference. This looks like it's wearing a case. But it's not that thick in real life. It's just the iPhone's the world's thinnest. Of course, it has the aluminum bezel, but sadly, because of this makeup of it, it actually has something called a death grip, which if you hold it the wrong way, they will lose signal. But there's cases that are made to stop that from happening, such as the Defender case that both these phones actually have. The camera, of course, is different on both phones. Let's set up the front camera first. We have to never actually set up the front camera on this one. I'm pretty sure this button there he goes. As you can see, the front camera on this is on the Evo is higher quality, but the camera on the iPhone is actually brighter. As you can see right here, this is actually a higher megapixel. It's not as bright. You could set it to be brighter, and you could also the front camera on this is not in 3D. The iPhone's camera has a smoother interface on it. You don't see any lag or anything. The Evo is different, but when you record, it stays just like the iPhone. Now for the back cameras. Of course, the iPhone has a lower megapixel, but then again, it's still brighter, but that's just the screens. When you upload them, they are the same. The iPhone has a 5 megapixel real camera. The Evo has an 8. Still dominates, but the difference between these two, which you can barely see on this is actually currently in 3D. You cannot tell when it's on normal camera, so let's set it back to normal. As you can see, it's different. It's still dimmer just because of the screen resolution. The screen resolution can be made brighter with certain upgrades. On the bed you could see a lot extras that we took off. Over there, that's like those three pieces are right over here. Those three pieces and that piece right there of the iPhone's case, and those two over there are the Evos. This is just trying to show you what they're like in there. Of course, it still has a bigger screen, but it does have a more of a frame rate. It has a better picture quality, but of course the iPhone is still more used. This actually has two cameras on it, so as you can see, the cameras on this are higher quality, but they're also bigger. It's hard to actually keep them from being blocked. Now let's set them back down. A couple more differences is mainly, of course, the size. Depends on what you like. The iPhone has a better quality to it. Alright, sorry there, the battery actually just died, so these two phones actually have a very similar battery to them. Depends on, of course, the brightness, if you're using 3D, of course, how long you use the phone, and so basically it's different. Of course, this is a very sturdy phone. You drop this, it's not going to break. Sadly, the iPhone has a full glass enclosure, except for, of course, the metal. If you look up other reviews online, you should definitely, if you get this phone, you should get the iPhone bumper, which goes around the sides of this. It actually protects the screen and everything. Actually got a text during it. Headphone slots are basically the same. Everything's pretty much the same use-wise in this phone. They both are about the same speed, depends of course of your carrier. So that's basically everything. We'll be soon doing an actual full versus where the points are actually involved on which phone is actually better. So tune back for that. Remember, this is Mad1310 Reviews. Remember to subscribe and whatever phone that you like. Which, if you like one more, I really don't give a shit because I don't want to hear both of you battling. Thanks, and thank you for viewing.